Hello everyone, this is Pedantic Gamer with some Halo 4 gameplay, and today I'm discussing the changes that were made to Halo 4 on June 3rd, which was a massive weapon rebalance. For those unaware, Halo 4 was pretty dreadful on launch. I found for the first few days everything felt pretty balanced with one exception, but then as time went by it became fairly obvious that the only weapons to use were the battle rifle and the DMR. Before I go any further, I'd like to explain why my voice doesn't sound quite as nice as it usually does. It's because my Snowball recently has died. That's my Snowball mic, and I'm actually using the PS3 headset at the moment, which isn't all that good. It's probably going to have a bit of a fuzz throughout it, and there's not much I can do about it until I replace it. I'm currently looking for a replacement. If you have any suggestions, please leave it below in the comments. I'd really prefer something that is a headset, so it's got a mic, it's got headphones, and it's got the ability to adjust voice in games separate to the actual volume for the actual game itself, so I can actually hear people's voices easily. That's something I am myself looking for, but we'll see if I can actually find anything like that. Until then, the quality will be a bit iffy. Now back to the topic at hand. Halo 4. At launch, the only weapons that were really used were the battle rifle and the DMR. And since then, on June 3rd, as I said, there was a patch that significantly addressed the weapon balance. It really just buffed a lot of weapons. In this gameplay, I'm actually using the Storm Rifle. Now, the Storm Rifle at the time in this gameplay's pre-patch was pathetic. Since then, it's actually been buffed quite a bit and it's actually usable now. Likewise, the Covenant Carbine is actually quite a good weapon now, along with the Suppressor. I still feel the light rifle is a bit too weak for its own good. It doesn't really equal the battle rifle. You never ever see people using the light rifle online, which kind of suggests that it probably isn't the best weapon and it's still a little too weak and needs a bit more buffing. Likewise, the assault rifle. The assault rifle I thought was the one that needed the least buffing, but I don't really feel like there's been much change there. It is a little bit better. It seems to have a little bit more range, but it still feels a little underpowered, and really using the assault rifle puts yourself at a severe disadvantage. Now onto the secondaries, the bolt shot. I have no idea how they ever thought the bolt shot in the game would be a good idea. It's a weapon that's a one-shot kill, and it completely breaks a lot of the game for me. It's been nerfed to some extent. It doesn't seem to have the range it used to have, but still you'll run around a corner, you'll have taken someone's shield down, and you go in for the melee kill, and they'll have whipped out a bolt shot and they'll one-shot you with a quick charge. Now you can hear it charging, but still, I don't understand how it didn't occur to the developers that a one-shot weapon as a weapon that you start off with, not a power weapon, but as a weapon you can actually spawn with, was a good idea, especially as a secondary, but even as a primary. I don't understand how they could have actually put this in the game and not realize it was a terrible idea. This is a weapon that needs to just be removed from the game or made into something that's just a power weapon. You should not be able to spawn with this. It's ridiculous. You can completely have the edge over someone and they just whip it out and it's game over for you. Basically it means the gameplay, which always has broken down in Halo to a mixture of weapons, grenades and melee, has completely removed melee. You're really hesitant to actually go in for a melee kill because the person could just pull out a bolt shot and go through your shields. They can have no shields left, you can have full shields, and they'll still beat you at close range with the bolt shot. What I'm essentially saying is the bolt shot is still the biggest gripe I have with the game. I actually have come to like the loadout system, and I can explain that probably in a later video because I won't have enough time here. But the bolt shot really needs to go or be made into a power weapon that you don't spawn with. Because as it is, unless you maybe take it down so you can't actually one-shot someone, so you have to really reduce the power, it's just not, it breaks the game for me. Next up is the Magnum. The Magnum never really had a huge issue. It was always reasonably well balanced. It was a great secondary to go to. And it doesn't seem to have changed much since. I don't think it was really buffed much. If it was, I can't tell the difference. It's a nice secondary to have. It's what I generally use because I don't feel like, well, I don't enjoy being cheap and pulling out the bolt shot all the time. And lastly is the plasma pistol. Now, the plasma pistol is a weapon that very few people use, but I think the main reason for that is that it's more of a support weapon. It's great for taking down shields, but it's not something you actually get many kills with. It's more of something that you use when you're running around with a second person to help bring down the shields as they take down the player, and most people want to get the kill themselves, so that's what I'd attribute most people to not using it for. It seems balanced to me, it's powerful enough, but it just isn't really the best for getting kills, which means a lot of people don't use it because they don't really want to be supporting another player to help get kills. They want to be getting the kills themselves, so that's what I'd attribute to it not being really used that often online. So do I think Halo 4 has been fixed by this patch? Well, no, I think it's a great start. I think it took far too long to get the patch out there to begin with. I do think more patching is needed, in particular the assault rifle I think needs a little bit more buffing, and the light rifle I think needs significant buffing because it's just not used. It's not a very good weapon online, which is unfortunate as I'd like to actually be able to play online with it and not be at a severe disadvantage. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this gameplay. I hope you've enjoyed the commentary as well. This is Pedantic Gamer, and I'll see you next time.